Hey guys, and welcome back. I was playing a game of Greece, as you can see, communist Greece to be specifically, and made me want to talk about this path. But before we get into that, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Really appreciate it. I'm pushing for 100 subscribers, and I'd appreciate it if you guys could help me get there. Alright, so as you can see, we're in January of 1944. So I played this game pretty late. Didn't really make a lot of progress. Germany never invaded the Soviet Union, funnily enough, which made it very hard for everyone to push. And the game didn't go the way I would have liked. So to start out, let's talk about a few general things that aren't necessarily tied to Greece and its tree that would be nice if they could fix, that would really just help it out. And those two small problems are Croatia and Bulgaria. So Croatia, when it popped out, encircled my whole army in Slovenia. Now, that wasn't that big of a deal. The problem was that I wasn't at war with Croatia, which meant I couldn't push into it to unencircle my troops. And every time I clicked Yugoslavia to let me join the war, they accepted, but then I wasn't at war, and I just had to delete a whole 24 stack just off the map. It wasn't great. I had enough troops that we were able to hold for a little bit, but eventually the Axis was just coming down too hard, so I retreated to the mountains. I had some fort lines held here, got some encirclements. We're pretty good. I guess I should probably show off the faction. We got me. We have Yugoslavia, who's currently mostly occupied. We got Bulgaria, my puppet. And then we got Hungary, a Czechoslovakia, and a Ukraine that are all my puppet. We were in good shape. And had, because Romania was isolated, I had puppet troops holding its border, and then we had a good defensive line here. We were doing pretty good, and then, again, the encirclement happened. That wasn't very fun, so that kind of sucked. The next problem, which I just fixed, was Bulgaria is my puppet, but they uncored states for a little bit. That really needs to be fixed, where they can uncore states when they're a puppet. At least of you. I don't care if they uncore Yugoslavia states. Really couldn't care less. Sucks when it's me. But those were the two just kind of in general, on the map things that aren't tied to Greece so much that I would like to see fixed. So moving over, I played with the the Tito path, obviously, and it's not bad. The reason I actually have a fondness for this path is this is the first path I played when Battle for the Bosphorus dropped back in 2020, I believe. Yeah, 2020, and it was pretty fun, but it wasn't that good. The reason I did it was because everyone was doing the Greater Greece or the Byzantine Empire and the Hidden Macedonia path. They were all doing that, and I wanted to be different, so I tried this. And, well, it's kind of more of a lame duck. I mean, the historical was probably less fun than it, but still, it's kind of not great. Even though Greece actually has a pretty good focus tree, I quite enjoy it. I like the choice in the industrial paths. I like a lot of it. It has some shortcomings. So I wanted to talk about some things that they could probably do that pretty easily to make it just so much better. So a little thing I'd like them to do is add the focus shrinking, because we don't need this path. I get this is here, but you can remove all of this. Just make it look so much easier, because while the tree's not super wide, if you got rid of one or the other, it'd be way shorter. So that would be nice. But getting specific, let's go over with the one of the problems is you can't see it, but each of the army branches actually has a hidden focus that only the Byzantine path can get. I don't know what the words I was looking for were, which kind of sucks, because that means that part of a common branch, a specific political branch makes. That's horrible. I can get it can be hidden, and you have to do certain things to unlock it, but you should be able to get it with other branches, or just make it there. If you form Greater Greece or something, it'll pop up. It might pop up if you form Greater Greece. I'm not sure, but it probably doesn't. They probably weren't that kind. And that brings me to the next point. Greater Greece needs to be changed. Right now, you need to control all of the Western Turkish states. That's fine. But you also need the Dodecanese and Cyprus. Well, you're not getting those. Like, you can get the Dodecanese just because you'll be at war. You'll easily be at war with Italy is Greece. They declare war on you, or you can get a war goal on them right here. So it's not, that's not that bad. It's not the greatest, but it's not that bad. Problem is Cyprus. You are not going to fight the Allies and the Axis for just because of Cyprus. So that's just, it needs to change where, like, you don't need the Dodecanese and Cyprus to form Greater Greece, but you get cores on them. You already got a core on the Dodecanese, but just make it that way. Like, that would make it so much better. Because one of the problems is, like, and then that moves on to the next actual problem, is this focus. This gives you a core on Edirne, claims on the other parts of Turkey, and then a war goal on Turkey. Not bad. Problem is, Turkey needs to be 30% fascist. Fascist party must be in charge, or has caused 5% world tension. It's 1944. None of those have been met. So, as you can see, like, and they are guaranteed by Germany and the UK. Germany, not a big deal. You're probably going to be at war with Germany anyway. Who cares? The UK, big deal. Because now, Canada, not worth attacking them ever. Now, they don't get these guarantees till 1939, so if you rush the flip as communist, you can justify a war goal. Maybe even get the war goal started before Ataturk dies, because this guy has a plus 200% war goal justification on them, which makes it take 375 days at 100% world tension. When I first flipped communist, it was like 600 and something days to justify, because it was pretty low world tension. That's, like, well, that's not the worst. This should definitely be reduced to 100% flat out. 100% I think is fine. Like, I get the intention. It's so no one goes in on Turkey, because Turkey's supposed to be this neutral power. And it's so that Germany doesn't sweep Turkey and then go into the Caucasus through Turkey. I understand the thought process behind it. 100% I think is fair. 200 is just overkill. It takes over a year to justify at 100% world tension. That's just too much. But I'm getting a little sidetracked. But, like, the biggest problem is, like, there was no reason to justify on Turkey. Like, it would have been a just big battle that I wouldn't have been able to core any of it anyway. So what would have it mattered? It would have been a strong puppet, but the amount of effort, it was just better to get, because you get a war goal in Bulgaria, puppet them, and I just puppeted Hungary, and I split them up. So, like, if we defeated the Axis, I could feed the states in the Czechoslovakia to make a stronger puppet and stuff like that. But, like, I really just, if they change Greater Greece to where, like, you just need the Turkish states, that'd be so nice. Or add where you can possibly get Cyprus, because, like, that's another problem, is that only this tree can get you Cyprus, and it can either fail or make him a dominion, which really sucks. So, like, at that point, if you get him as a dominion, you basically don't even have them, because it takes 1 billion years to annex them and so much political power. It sucks. But making a way to where you could possibly just annex them, not annex, like, demand it or something, would be great. Like, it would help out so much that if you can either make it where you don't need Cyprus, or you could get Cyprus, it would be perfect. Or just make it where, like, you don't need Cyprus, you can form Greater Greece. I can make do with the justification. I would prefer if they changed the war goal to where you could actually get it, where it was just, if, like, maybe I can understand tying it to a certain world goal or man, words are hard today. World tension threshold, maybe, like, that might not be that big a deal, because you could just spike world tension yourself to get the war goal, but then the AI wouldn't do it. So then, like, it would keep the AI on track of not going to war with Turkey, but you could do it. That could be something that could work out. I wouldn't mind that change, but that would really, in my opinion, fix most of this tree, because the biggest issue is I don't want to play this tree, because the other trees are either, like, if you're, like, you're either going to play the weak defensive, like, historic Greece, where, like, you're bunkering in the Metaxas path, which can be kind of fun. I've played it before. It's difficult. You're just holding the line. You don't have as much recruitable, all that. And, like, you can just take out Bulgaria and make your line. That's fun. Or like, the fascist path really isn't that fun. Like, it's alright. The monarchist path to form Macedonia can be fun, but that's very challenging, and you just labor intensive. The other paths over here are fun. Like, the communist path's just in this spot where, like, if you want to just sit out and hold out, it's not as fun just because, like, you're way stronger. I have 172 factories. I am just insanely strong. Like, it is, I am not in fear of ever losing. And if I didn't have that Croatia issue happen, I would have been able to knock out Croatia and hold up a line somewhere in here and have not even got this close. But it has some issues. Because, like, here, attack the fascists. Like, it gives you infrastructure, construction speed, and communism. 3 things you don't really need. Like, it's not bad. Like, I'd prefer to have them than not. But, like, I think that just sums up this tree in general. It has stuff. It's not necessarily what you would want. So, like, some easy fixes would be to, like, make this focus 35 days. Because all it gives you is railways. And then a decision to host bureaucrats in Greece. Which, if it costs 100 political power, it can get you factories, which is pretty nice. But if you do it too many times, you can become a puppet. So I think any focus that doesn't give you really an immediate benefit that's that good should be 35 days. Like, if it's a free decision, that's fine to be a 70-day focus because it's free. But this costs 100 political power as well. Like, it really should just be a 35-day focus. Same with this one. It gives you 5 building slots. That's nice, but that should be a 35-day focus. The rest, they can probably, like, this one I think fixes some stuff, so it can be whatever it is. The next little change would be make it where, like, kind of like here where you can pick between them so you can get through them faster. Because, like, these are really good focuses, but you don't need to get both before you go down to here. You can get one, like your research slot and factories, go in, defeat Tito and Bulgaria, then go back and get the militias to go in on Turkey if they fix the Turkey focus. Stuff like that, to make it where, like, it has more dynamic. Because it's pretty much you choose once you go down your political tree, it's a straight line. You have to do every focus. The only decision you have is between which branches here, how you want to do that in what order. Everything else you got to do in the same order every time. So, like, that's just a problem, in my opinion. It could be easily solved. Like, that's, I think, the real reason I really wanted to talk about this is the communist path could be easily fixed with a war effort patch. Like, they went through and added, utilized British capital to the right to rule path, which I think is really good. Like, it's actually a pretty nice focus. It helps out. And at least helps to offset the Civil War a little bit better. Because, while the Civil War is not the biggest deal, and it's actually pretty quick, you don't get to do the Metaxas path. Like, so unless you're doing the Macedonian Empire, like, this is just horrible because it locks you out of all these focuses. And, like, the Metaxas, like, it locks you out of so much stuff. So, like, this at least helps out a little bit. But I also think they added this focus, the rich Macedonian farmlands. I don't remember this being here, so I think they added that. I can't be sure. But, like, this tree could just use a little bit of love, and I think it'd be perfect. Like, open up the country. I didn't know this. I found this out this playthrough. You can't do the investments after 1942. I did the focus after 1942. So, like, after 42, like, once 42 starts, this should bypass. Like, because it's a 7-day focus. That also brings up, like, it's a 7-day focus, and then you have to do all this shit. Why do they give you 7-day focuses where you have to invest shit? Like, I hate that. It should be a 35-day focus and be able to be bypassed after 1942. Just stuff like that. Just, it's like, they should really just go through and look at a few of these and be like, yeah, that needs to be fixed. And just fix it. Because I think that would just make this tree a lot better. Because overall, I think it's actually a very strong tree. I've seen people not like it, which I can understand. Like, some of the stuff, as I've talked about in this video, is a little not the best. But I think just giving it a little bit of tweaks would probably put it into a very nice state. Because I honestly really like the tree. There's just some small things that make it hurt so bad. Like, there's such a small little tweak you could do that would completely fix the tree. And they just haven't done it in almost, it's probably been about 4 years since it came out, maybe a little bit longer. And it's sad. So I hope in the future they listen to this video, maybe not this one specifically, and just make Greece a little bit better. Because I really like Greece. It's just a fun nation to play. But I wanted just to talk about it that way. Just a short little video, so thank you guys for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.